we're joined by CEO of Lakeland Dairies, Michael Hanley, to talk about the Lakeland LacPatrick merger. Michael, thank you very much for joining us. First off, Michael, why was the LacPatrick merger a tempting acquisition for you?
Well, first of all, Claire, it's a merger of the two businesses. It's a merger of the LacPatrick business plus the old Lakeland business into a new company called Lakeland Dairies. It now, once the merger goes through and once it's agreed by the competition authorities, the milk pool will be approximately 1.8 billion litres of milk. So it'll be quite a large milk pool. It'll be the second largest milk pool on the island of Ireland. So that will drive a lot of synergies, a lot of cost savings, a lot of efficiencies, and it should help sustain a higher milk price for both Lakeland farmers and LacPatrick farmers out into the future.
What are the benefits for Lakeland suppliers?
Well, for Lakeland suppliers, they're now part of a much larger milk processing operation, which drives efficiency. Secondly, in facilities on their own. Secondly, in relation to milk collection, there's a lot of overlap between Lakeland suppliers and LacPatrick suppliers, both in Southern Ireland and particularly in Northern Ireland. So there's scope for efficiency and cost savings there. And then from a volume point of view, from a customer point of view, it gives access to customers of a large milk pool and a wide portfolio of dairy products. It gives access to a larger number of markets. Lakeland currently serve over 80 markets across the world, so it expands on that, and it gives more product and product availability and a wider portfolio of products to all the customers of the combined business going forward. And what customers are looking for is they're looking for efficiency, they're looking for sustainability for business, so they're looking for scale in there, and then they're looking for a portfolio of products that they can serve their customers with out into the future.
So where do you see the synergies between Lakeland Dairies and LacPatrick Dairies?
Well, there's a synergy straight away in milk collection, an overlap in milk collection. There's a synergy in relation to volumes of product going through particular plants. And as you know, the strategy that Lakeland has had over the years has always been to sweat the assets, drive the volumes through because there are customers out the other side. So there are significant synergies. And then with the wider portfolio of products, there's greater acceptability and attractiveness of the Lakeland business and the new Lakeland business, of the combined business, to a wider portfolio and a wider number of customers across the world. So there's a lot of advantages there for Lakeland milk suppliers and for the customers and for all the stakeholders of the business.
Was it a good deal?
Look, I think it makes a lot of sense. This should have happened possibly 25, 30 years ago. But better late than never. The combined businesses of the Lakeland and the LacPatrick business gives scale. It puts Lakeland on the map for customers in, most of the product is sold out of the country. So you're talking about the Asia, African, American markets and the attractiveness of smaller businesses versus large businesses for, the likes of Asia, where there's 1.2, 1.3 billion people to be fed. You need scale to be able to satisfy those particular markets.
What about taking on LacPatrick's debt? Is that manageable, Michael?
Yeah, the LacPatrick debt is a core debt there of about 28 million euros, and it's very manageable. There's also working capital requirements in there as well. And all those figures have been shared with all the shareholders of Lakeland and of LacPatrick. So the financial figures are out there in the open, and the debt is we're very comfortable with the level of debt that the new entity will be taking on. There'll be working capital requirements in there as well. And the other piece that's currently happening in the business is the LacPatrick business in the first half of the year has not been making money. It has been losing money. So we have shared that with our shareholders and our farmers, and we're aware of that. So we have now to change that and we have to drive efficiencies in the business and to run the business differently to the way it has been run in the past.
What about rationalisation of the business, Michael? Will there be job losses?
we're not saying there's going to be job losses. We're not saying there's not going to be job losses. What we are saying is we're going to run the business in an efficient manner. We're going to run it in a sustainable manner. We're going to sweat the assets. We're going to invest in the pieces of the business that are going to make a return for Lakeland farmers and for the milk price. So what our goal is to pay as much as we can for every litre of milk. To do that, we have to run an efficient business, and we will do that. We have done that historically, and we'll do that with the new entity. There's a number of sites. There's pros and cons, and there's advantages and disadvantages of some of the operations that are there. So it will be up to us as a management team and as a board to run that business as efficiently as we can, sweat those assets, and pay as much as we can for every litre of milk to the milk suppliers who will be supplying milk to Lakeland Dairies.
And is there any LacPatrick plant that could be particularly vulnerable there?
Look, we will evaluate everything on a truly open basis. LacPatrick has a strong record of performance over the years. It's an old co-op. It has a long history. But driving forward, it's all about the future. It's all about milk price. It's all about the sustainability of milk price, and areas that are performing, we will invest in areas that are performing. Areas that are not performing, we won't be investing in areas that are not performing. Our goal, we're a co-op. Our goal is to pay as much as we can for the raw material to all our milk suppliers and to all our shareholders in the business, and we will be doing that.
In the days just after the announcement, there was a delay on the September payments to LacPatrick suppliers. Can you just shed any light, Michael, on what happened there?
Yeah, no, we're aware that there was a hiccup somewhere along the lines. I suppose there was a lot of activity in relation to the merger and the merger vote, which was very strongly supported, over 95% and 97% of both sets of shareholders. So I said there was a lot of activity in there. And look, at Claire, at this stage, all Lakeland farmers, all LacPatrick farmers have been paid for their milk, and everybody has been paid in the system. So whatever hiccup was there has been freed up at this stage.
And Michael, will the LacPatrick plants remain, or will there be a level of consolidation?
Everything is up for evaluation. You go back to the efficiency piece. As a management team, as a board of directors in the business, we are charged with driving and running an efficient operation. Any business or portfolio of products that's making a contribution, then that would be good. And likewise, on the other side of that is something that's taken away from that or reducing milk price. We'll be taking no prisoners inside in the new business.
And obviously, Lakeland is involved in infant formulas and dairy proteins. Where do you see the most potential going forward?
Look, we have a wide portfolio of products. We service a lot of customers all over the world. So we're not talking about going into those markets. We're already in those markets. The issue for us and the fear we have had over the last number of years is, would we have enough product to service those particular markets? So I think overall it's about driving the efficiency, doing what we are doing that better, making it more efficient, putting more product through, saving on your costs, and being able to return as much as possible for every litre of milk while reinvesting in the business. So in relation to particular sites or activities, everything is up for discussion. Everything will be evaluated, and we'll be doing what we're supposed to do, and that is to run the business as efficiently as we possibly can.
Where do you see milk price going over the next 12 to 24 months?
Look, I suppose milk price hinges around milk volumes. So the supply and demand piece, and supply seems to, at this moment in time, particularly for the last 2 to 3 months, has outpaced the demand side. Wee bit disappointing that oil prices, which have almost doubled in the last 12 months, that oil prices haven't helped on the milk price side of it as of yet. So you're looking at extra milk supply coming on the market. Demand has been subdued, whether it's the American, Chinese issues and trade wars. But for whatever reason, you're looking at extra supply. Demand has tapered off, and there's a surplus of supply in the likes of New Zealand, in the likes of Ireland, as we currently stand for the last 2 months in particular, and in America, a growing volume of milk. So currently, supply is outpacing demand, and dairy markets are under pressure. Butter prices have have fallen from approximately €6,000 back to €4,000, and skim for skim milk powder is still 2 cents a litre under intervention, with 200,000 tonnes of product still in intervention. So there's no shortage of dairy product out there, and the extra supply of milk that's coming on the market at the moment from the various countries is contributing to an oversupply situation.
And how do you engage then with Lakeland suppliers on volatility?
Well, on volatility, we have a number of fixed price schemes going back over the last number of years, and farmers are in maybe year 1, year 2 or year 3 of those particular schemes. So, we offer fixed price contracts, but you need a willing customer on the other side to lock into a fixed price for the farmer. So on an ongoing basis, we offer fixed price schemes to farmer. Some of them are attractive, some of them are not attractive. It depends on what circumstances the farmer finds himself in. Is he heavily borrowed? Is he not? Is he starting up as a new entrant, etc.? But it's a voluntary decision by farmers to either lock into a fixed price contract or to not lock in.
Do you see further consolidation in the market, Michael? Where do you see that coming from?
Look, from a Lakeland point of view, we've done more consolidating than most. Historically, 4 or 5 entities now have combined into the Lakeland business, and there'll be ongoing consolidation. But from a Lakeland point of view, our goal now is to consolidate the LacPatrick and the Lakeland business, to drive the efficiencies in there, and to return as much as we can for every litre of milk, and to run that business as efficiently as possible, and to sweat the assets. Our strategy has been to sweat the assets and to get as much out of those assets as possible. And then let's see where the consolidation piece leads us to.
And Brexit, just 6 months out from it, some people might say the merger decision was a brave move. Can you outline your logic, Michael, at the timing of it?
Yeah, I suppose when we spoke of LacPatrick and the advantages and the synergies, the one big synergy and the one big positive with LacPatrick and the merger of Lakeland is the Brexit issue. It gives us fantastic safety net in relation to and a hedge against whatever comes out of Brexit, because we have a lot of our milk in Northern Ireland, so now we have a lot of facilities in Northern Ireland as well. So regardless how the Brexit pendulum swings, we will be able to handle milk and maximise the equation for our farmers. So from a Brexit point of view, the merger of Lakeland Dairies and LacPatrick, that's one of the tremendous advantages that comes from the merger itself. In relation to Brexit, look at anybody, is it going to be a hard Brexit? Is it going to be a soft Brexit? What's the definition of those? From a Lakeland point of view, we're in reasonable shape. We have facilities in both jurisdictions. We have markets. The UK is one market for us. We have 79 or 80 other markets all over the world. So, with our facilities in Northern Ireland and our facilities in Southern Ireland and our customers in the various markets all over the world, we should be able to maximise the equation to take as much as possible and take advantage of and to reduce the disadvantages of whatever comes out of Brexit.
And do you envisage further Lakeland acquisitions in the UK?
Look, at the moment, we'll be concentrating on consolidating and taking the efficiencies out of the new merged entity, which is the second largest milk processor on the island of Ireland. So we have work to do there. The LacPatrick business is not making money. It's losing money currently, and there are borrowings, and we're well aware of those, and we've shared those with our farmers. So the goal is to turn, the losses back into profits, to drive the efficiencies, to return a strong milk price to farmers, consolidate the business, and to continue to grow the Lakeland business going forward. Is
there a difference, Michael, between northern suppliers and southern suppliers for Lakeland? And would you be concerned about losing any suppliers in the process?
No, well, they're all great suppliers. We love milk suppliers, regardless whether they're from Northern Ireland or from Southern Ireland. Historically, there is a risk we could lose suppliers. Look, if you don't perform in your business, why should farmers supply you their milk? So there's always the risk of losing milk suppliers. But from a Lakeland perspective, our track record is of losing very few milk suppliers. We've consolidated the Fane Valley business into Lakeland, and we lost 3 or 4 suppliers out of 240. Our track record is of gaining milk suppliers. We've added on new entrants. Approximately 200 new entrants have come into our business in the last 4 to 5 years. So all the time, if you perform, you won't lose milk suppliers, and it's up to us to perform. And if we don't perform and we don't pay a sustainable milk price and be competitive and run the business efficiently, then we don't deserve to have any suppliers.
Michael, and right now the merger hasn't been approved just yet. Can you just outline the next steps?
Well, the next steps is there's competition authorities both north and south from Southern Ireland and then Northern Ireland / UK. So those applications have been made, and the competition authorities will rule on those over the next 2 to 3 months. But we're confident that early in the new year that the merger will be approved by both competition authorities, both in Southern Ireland and in the UK.
Thanks very much, Michael. We'll leave it there.
Thank you, Claire.